Should you start a YouTube channel in 2026? It's a massive question, and honestly, the answer is different for everyone. I spent the last year making and uploading over 200 videos to my motorcycle channel, No Vice Rider. 219 videos, 175,000 views, and exactly $0 in ad revenue. I'm starting No Vice Creator to show you the matrix behind creating the ride footage and posting those videos. The analytics, the slog, and the truth. So if you're ready for the red pill, let's get into it and look at those numbers. The slog. Most people quit before 20 videos. So far I've done 219, and that's just part of what it takes. So it's probably a good point for a bit of a reality check. Only 1/3 of videos uploaded to YouTube get more than 100 views. That's crazy. In other words, 2/3 of all the videos on the YouTube platform have less than 100 views. And how many people actually get monetized? It's about 1% or so. Or in other words, 99% of content creators on YouTube aren't monetized. So they're not getting any money from AdSense. They might be making money off of the platform, but that's a whole nother story in itself. So what that means is YouTube isn't a way to make a quick buck. The reality is that it's a long, hard, slow slog for most creators. YouTube isn't a lottery, it's a filter. It filters out the people who aren't willing to be the 1% who keep going. And a lot of people think it's a get rich quick scheme, and it definitely isn't that. It's the opposite. It's a long, hard slog that may not even make you any money at all, let alone make you rich. But even with all of that, it can be super fun. So the question is, should you start a YouTube channel in 2026? It's a great question, and one of life's big ones. So unsurprisingly, the answer isn't straightforward and can be different for everyone. I've been posting videos to YouTube for over a year now, and if you haven't guessed already, I'm a motor vlogger. Or in other words, someone who posts videos about riding a motorcycle. The reason I started my motor vlogging channel, No Vice Rider, was to help people who had decided to get into riding motorcycles. I used to teach people how to ride quads, so it felt like a natural progression to show people what I'd learned teaching myself how to ride on two wheels. The reason I'm starting my content creator channel, No Vice Creator, is to help people who've decided to get into creating videos and uploading them to YouTube, using what I've learned from running my own channel, No Vice Rider, for the past year. I've found it super fun combining two of my passions, making videos and riding motorcycles. And also having a creative outlet for that has been an amazing thing for me. Before that, felt like there was a bit of a hole. Yes, there's a lot to do and there was a lot to learn, and it is a big challenge. But that challenge was a great one to sink my teeth into, and that might be the same for you. But it can also be challenging. Chasing views, it's soul destroying when you put all of your heart and soul, hard work, blood, sweat and tears into a video, and then basically it tanks or just says Tumbleweed and no one watches it. Those 10 views were you checking that it had uploaded correctly, or you changed something in your description, and yeah, basically no one watched it and or the algorithm didn't push it out. But that's part of it. It's a growing process. You got to learn and then adapt, change, try things, that kind of thing. You got to grow, keep plugging away, and yeah, if you just keep at it, hopefully eventually things will come good. She'll be right. For most creators, we're not talking days, weeks, or even months. We're talking years. So it really is a long game. So you got to bear that in mind. And like I said a moment ago, it's a slow process and it's not easy. And it can be stressful at points, and it's pretty lonely being a content creator because you're in your own little bubble. And it's easy to get demoralized, because it is demoralizing not getting views or subs. And then there's the haters. If your mental health relies on people pressing the like button, then maybe YouTube isn't for you. And there's lots of advice out there, good and bad. And people are trying to make money using the platform, but they're also trying to make money out of the people on it. So you've got to keep that in mind and know where you stand. Basically, there's a bit of an advice trap. Everyone has an opinion, but unless they work for Google, they're pretty much guessing. You could argue that I'm guessing too, but I'm trying to be honest with what I say And I'm basing my guesswork off of making over 200 videos and uploading them to the platform in under a year. There was a lot to learn and a lot to do, and it can actually be quite lonely at times because it's just you as a solo creator. I know some of the bigger people or other creators at some point bring on a team or put a team together, but I'm just a regular Joe, just kind of starting out at the beginning, maybe similar to you. And it can be tough, it's a bit of a slog and it takes a while. I think the thing that supposedly Mr. Beast, who's one of the biggest creators on the platform, they said just make good videos. And for me, I think that kind of rings true. If a video is good or the idea is good, it seems to do well, pretty much regardless of the quality of the video or the audio. If that idea is good or the video itself is good, it seems to perform well. And I mean, there could be a bit of luck involved as well, but it does just seem to be people who put the effort in and come up with good ideas or copy other people's good ideas or whatever. In short, just put out strong content. Their numbers seem to reflect that. So yeah, I alluded to a moment ago about the money. Basically, people use YouTube to generate money. But this, in my opinion, isn't on the YouTube platform, it's off of the platform. And it can be misleading when people put up these figures saying, I made this much money this year, tens of thousands, millions, whatever they're trying to say. But I'm not sure it's actually on the platform itself. It might have been via the platform, but I'm not sure how many people, if any, are making hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars through ad revenue from the YouTube partnership program. Maybe they are, but I just find it hard to believe. So I think those big money numbers are stuff that's off platform, and YouTube is a part of that, but maybe a very small part. At this point in time of recording this video, I have 331 subscribers. So it was 332, and I was hoping that it was going to be 333 by the point of recording this, because that is 1/3 of the 1,000 subscribers that I need to get into the YouTube partnership program. But yeah, it actually went down over the last few days, so you can lose subscribers. Like, I'm guessing that it was bots that were those accounts were cancelled, or maybe it was real people and their accounts were cancelled, or maybe they just didn't like my channel anymore and they decided to leave. But yeah, this number of subs, or your number of subs, can go down, which mine did over the last few days. And yeah, it went down to, I think it was 330 on the nose, and then I just picked up another one in the last few hours. But yeah, hopefully maybe by the time I put this out, because I'm recording on the 2nd of January and I'm going to run it probably not this Saturday, which would be tomorrow, but in a week's time, because I've got a video that just went live yesterday, so I want to give that a bit of breathing space. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, I've got that 333 subs, which for me, that's a good achievement. I'm happy with that. Obviously it's not the 1,000 that I was hoping for to get in the first year or less than that time. I'm happy with that. It is what it is. And there's two sides to it as well. So I should mention that it's not just about getting that 1,000 subs. You've also got to get 4,000 watch time hours. So that basically means 4,000 hours of people watching your content. So that's not you watching your own stuff. That's actual people out there watching your content. And that just grows organically as you put more videos out, and if they get better, or you have good ideas or copy some good ideas or just pump out good content, theoretically that watch time number should increase. And if you get viral videos, then that's really going to go up. But speaking of my watch time hours, at the moment I've gone just over 2,000 watch time hours. So I'm basically halfway with the watch time hours, because I'm trying to get to 4,000 and I'm at 2,000, and I'm approximately at 1/3 of what I need for the subs, because I'm roughly at 333, which would be roughly 1/3 of 1,000. So yeah, there's two numbers or two areas that we're trying to cover here, or you have to meet two thresholds, and that's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours. So I'm getting there slowly. Obviously other people do it quicker, but yeah, this is like just a regular person doing their best, and these, in my opinion, are pretty regular numbers. Like, I see other people with similar numbers, some better, some worse. Let me know how you're doing if you've already started posting videos, and yeah, you want to share that with me, or give me a general general vibe of how you're going. I'd be interested to hear how you're going because, yeah, I'm pretty much in my own bubble here. So it's always good to hear what other people are doing and what they're up to and how they're getting on. At this point in time of recording this video, this channel that I have at the moment is my one and only channel. It's a motovlogging channel, so that's the niche. You may think that's an easy or a hard niche to work in. I think it's quite difficult, but again, I don't know because I'm in that bubble. But for this channel, No Vice Rider, I've been posting for 1 year. I've had just over 175,000 views of my videos on the channel, and I've uploaded 219 videos, 81 of them long form and 138 of them shorts. Yes, shorts. Yeah, money wise, like, I've made $0 and 0 cents, but that's not surprising because I'm right at the beginning and I haven't even qualified for the YouTube partnership program by getting that 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch time hours, because then you get your share of the Google ads, the AdSense revenue, which is roughly 50%, like half goes to YouTube, half goes to you. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to try and like hang in there and hopefully qualify for that one day in the not too distant future. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, what kind of money comes from that. I don't think it's going to be massive, but, you know, still be cool to make something. But yeah, money wise, you know, if we look at the bare bones, in fact, I'm down a few $100 because of having to get a action camera, mics and editing software. That's all money I had to put in myself because I didn't have any of that stuff. Like, I had a camera for taking stills, but it just couldn't handle the motion on the bike. It was just the vibrations and stuff. It just wasn't, in my opinion, good enough to put stuff out. And yeah, the mic, you just wouldn't have been able to hear anything. And even with the action camera, when you're riding at speed, the wind noise and stuff, I just needed some other mics. And then the software, I needed some editing software, and I didn't want to use free stuff. I'm just not sure about the free stuff. I just don't believe that anything is free these days. Basically, you're trading your data. So I'm hoping that because I purchased editing software, that's not going to be the case, that my data or my likeness is going to be getting used with or without my knowledge. But money wise, like, I'm okay with that at this point. You know, this is like a passion project, it's a hobby. So yeah, not making any money right now, I guess that's to be expected. I don't think many businesses make money in their first year, and this isn't really a business, it's a hobby, right? So, and yeah, when you're small, making any money from YouTube is going to be great. Like, I'm looking forward to that moment. I'm going to keep plugging away till I hopefully get there. Yes, at the moment, I'm not making anything, but that's part of the challenge. You know, if it wasn't challenging, it wouldn't be much of a challenge. The good news is you don't need much gear to get started, and there's a lot of free software, and you don't even necessarily need either of those, because basically you could shoot with your phone and maybe even edit on your phone, or just upload raw stuff that hasn't been edited. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, work with what you've got until you can get stuff that you want, either from making money out of the project or just saving up or whatever. But yeah, you don't have to use any of the stuff that I've used, like an action camera, microphones. Yeah, you don't need any of that stuff really to get started. You can just dive in and just get cracking. You know, there's a cool video out there that I saw this time last year when I was kind of looking into what to do, and basically the person on there was just saying, just get some stuff up there and just get started and see if you actually even enjoy making videos, and then you can kind of go from there, which I think is pretty good advice. Although I kind of went the other way where I wanted stuff to be perfect, and that's a whole nother story in itself. And another thing, this is a good time, or it has been a good time in my opinion, to be using the YouTube platform as a content creator, because YouTube and its parent company, Google, if you want to call it that, they offer lots of tools, and they seem to be releasing more tools, you know, as the weeks and months go by. So that's pretty cool, like some of the AI stuff that they offer now, or some of the tips and that kind of thing. I think it's pretty cool. And like the stuff that they've got apparently coming out with, like A/B testing of thumbnails and titles, that kind of stuff's pretty sick. Like, they didn't have that before as far as I'm aware. And I really like the auto dubbing into different languages. I think that's amazing. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, that, because if it is tanking the channel, then obviously you don't want to be using it. But on the flip side, having your videos automatically dubbed into all these different languages around the world, that's pretty nuts, you know? I found it super fun combining two of my passions, making videos and riding motorcycles. But at the end of the day, you'll never know if you don't give it a go. And a good tip at this point would be, try to document something you're passionate about. Or in other words, Try to make videos on things that you are passionate about or that you do in your life anyway. That way you're combining things that you're already doing, or you're not forcing yourself to just make stuff that you don't really want to make. In other words, chasing views. It just seems like the best thing to do is make things that you actually want to make, and if that overlaps with what people want to watch, then you're onto a winner. Monetization is probably a big goal for most people on the YouTube platform. So try to look at documenting your passion as being the reward, not the money, the cold hard cash. You have to love the process before the paycheck. And there's plenty of artists who have said, do what you love and the money will come later, if you're lucky. And a final point, it takes time. It's basically like one of those games where people have to keep their hand on a car, and the last one with their hand on the car wins and gets to take the car and gets to keep the car. YouTube is a game of endurance. The last person with their hand on the car wins. Well, that's the analogy anyway. I'm not the biggest creator, but I'm still here, and my hand is still on the car. If you want to see the results of all this hard work, the actual writing, take the blue pill and head over to Novice Writer. But if you're ready to stay in the room and learn how to build your own channel, hit subscribe here so you don't miss any of the videos. And I've actually already done one. Or you can go large and have both pills. Until next time, thanks for watching to the end. Have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one.